this is the day. We're going to stream a little Dead Cells, and we're going to chat over top of it. Let's get into this. It is an action... it's kind of a role-playing game, but it's basically a Metroidvania. So, with procedurally generated levels and really cool enemies that you can fight and kill. I'm going to watch it on the, not on the TV, I'm going to watch it on the computer because the frame rate's a little bit better than off of the television. Blake's going to come up and talk to us and go through the chat, and if there's any messages, because I haven't done a lot of interaction with people
everyone.
In the chat, but now is our chance. So if you've got any comments or questions...
We had a super chat from, I think it was Tyler Fisher.
Oh, you rock, buddy. Thank you so much. Very generous, very sweet. I wish I could meet you at Fan Expo, but I think you're in Portland.
Ask me questions in all caps, everybody.
If you can, yes. And we'll do our best to catch up with comments and chats. And people are, I know, commenting on the awful state of the BC wildfires is just crazy, man.
It feels like it's not as bad as it was last year, though.
Well, I think last year it was shocking, and this year we're
used to it
already, and this is the new normal. But August should not be covered in haze. We should be able to see the sun, you know?
So, Vic, you haven't played this game on the PC, you've just played it on the Switch?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I thought about booting up the PC to check this out because of Foob's raving about it, but, you know, I get stuck with the new stuff that isn't in early access, reviewing all of that. So when this came out, it was like, oh my god, I gotta check this out. And got instantly addicted. It's so fun. The mechanics are airtight.
I have a question from Farimer.
Okay.
How does this compare to Rogue Legacy?
I think it's way easier to play, and like, not just in terms of its forgiveness, because Rogue Legacy is really, really tough. But just the mechanics are really fun. It's just really, like, even like you get pissed off when you lose everything. That's the one thing about roguelikes is you get to, you know, you get to wherever you die and you're like, do I want to play again or not? That's the big question. But the mechanics are so fun in this game that you generally want to. There's lots of doors like that where you spend some money and then you unlock one of the gadgets. As opposed to finding them in stores, which it'll cost you a little bit more. So usually you'll spend whatever you've got, depending on what's behind the door, but you'll spend on opening the door, and then you'll get the cool gadget that way.
So if I'm a person who gets frustrated with Metroid-style games,
yes,
and if I get also really frustrated with games like Dark Souls, will I still enjoy this?
I think so, because the mechanics are pretty forgiving. It's definitely one where you're gonna keep, you know, going back to it and playing it again. But even that first little chunk there, which is over relatively quickly, like it's just basically a training mission till you get to this point. Once you get to here, you're kind of in the real game. This is like, I don't know what it's called, the chamber or whatever, but you talk to these different characters and they give you stuff. And you need to get the stuff to kind of get you on your real mission. I've unlocked a sort of like an instant regeneration thing, and I've got 2 layers of health potion in my vials. I've got 4 different weapons, so I am ready to go to the Promenade of the Condemned, and this is where things start to heat up, and then you fight the first boss.
That's such a welcoming yet foreboding name.
Yeah.
Promenade of the Condemned. Another question from Farimer. Are you going to play Death's Gambit?
I've heard about this game, but I don't know it. I haven't looked at it yet, so I don't know.
What is Death's Gambit?
I probably will. Let's find out.
I'm gonna Google it because I haven't even heard of it.
I have a bunch of games that are on deck that I've got to download. So I just fell on the spikes and lost a big chunk of health. That was not a smooth move, Xlax. Okay, come on, let's go down here.
From Wikipedia, Death's Gambit is a challenging action RPG set in a medieval world shrouded in mystery, tortured by the immortal souls who call it home. So it looks like Dark Souls-ish.
Okay.
Maybe. The old YouTube has a trailer here.
All right. Who's publishing?
Oh, no, that's it there. So it looks exactly like this game.
Oh, wow.
That
Seriously?
looks so similar.
No, come on.
That's the game.
Are you kidding?
That looks exactly. That's like.
They must have ripped them off.
This looks like to the point where it's like liable.
Really?
That looks. They even have the squares and the.
That's crazy.
I am looking at the right trailer, right? Yeah, that's Death's Gambit.
Wow.
That looks exactly like this game.
I don't know which came first.
I wouldn't even be able to tell the difference between the two. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we have played Death's Gambit.
Okay, so
we should look into that.
I'm
see.
Probably getting into the first boss, but I don't have the cool stuff, so I probably won't be surviving. Okay.
Vic, Adrian Leon wants to know if you're gonna play Shenmue 1 and 2.
I am. I don't have the codes for it. I've got a bug Sega for that right now, but I've got some other stuff in the pipeline that big games. But I definitely want to give the Shenmue 1 and 2 a shot too.
I have advice
ages.
from Jose. Sorry.
Yeah.
He says, "Don't play to open the door, break, and take on the curse." I don't know what that means, but that's some Jose advice. So
break and take on the curse.
Yeah. Break and take on the curse. I don't know what that means.
Oh.
Like break the door as opposed to opening it? Is that a thing?
Yeah. Ooh. See, I just died, and then they popped me back to life. But I'm very. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, jeez.
These enemies look pretty cool.
They're super cool.
I dig the design of this game.
Oh my god, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm totally dead.
I have a question from Paul Adamson.
Yep.
Will the TEDx folks give you time to play Spider-Man because it comes out the same time you're there?
I hope so.
Well, you'll probably get the game a few days early.
Yeah,
least,
I should be getting it pretty soon, actually. Yeah, I hope I've done as much Spider-Man obsessing as I possibly can before Ted comes, but we'll see. There is a lot to juggle right now. So I unlocked a random bow at the beginning of the game, so now I've got a much better bow than I normally start out with.
Like a bow tie, or?
No, for bow and arrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a fancy dapper bow.
No, not dapper. No, I'm not dapper.
That's too bad.
I'm a killer. I'm a vicious killer.
Sam IM111, is there anything special planned for Gamescom this week?
No. We'll have news from Gamescom, but
yeah.
Obviously we didn't go to Germany for that. It's such an expensive trip. We've spent that money in previous years, and not that I regret it. It's just like the Tokyo Game Show. It's such a heavy expense, and so much of the information is kind of already out there because the games are by the time these things come out, the companies really just want to sell their games. They want to just promote them to the public. That's why they're so important to the general public. But we've been to E3, and we've obviously done some stuff at PAX to kind of accommodate all of that stuff. There are definitely some territorial benefits, like exclusive information that you pick up from going to events like that, and they're super fun. But they're
But the
pricey.
kind of games they show are more specific to those regions too.
Yeah.
Like the type of games at Gamescom are more European style games.
What we'll probably see from Gamescom are European companies that decided to not go to E3 revealing their stuff, like THQ Nordic, which is great. So we'll report on that. Obviously, we'll talk about the trailers that they unleash and release dates that get announced and stuff. Any trends that kind of surface because of the events. There is still a chance that we might be going to Tokyo Game Show. I don't know, but we definitely will not be at Gamescom. So there I picked up Twin Daggers 2. My DPS is going from 119 to 130 because it goes to 130 plus a bracketed 201 damage per second because of a critical hit on the third consecutive strike. And it's 100% damage if my target is burning. So it gets really granular. It gets very much like a role-playing game, like you are playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is amazing. It just layers upon layers of detail and depth. And then inside of these dungeons that I'm cruising through, I will find like little holes and stuff, and there'll be stuff buried in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Maybe it's
like wall chicken.
Yeah,
in
well,
Castlevania.
one of the cool things that I didn't talk about with Jose is that one of the options in this thing is you can have all the food power-ups that pop up be vegetarian if you want. You can choose, I'll show you, which is crazy. I just think it's so clever, right? Like the diet choice. You can have carnivore, Castlevania-esque.
So if you did Castlevania-esque, it would be wall chicken everywhere.
Probably, yeah. Fruitarian, monster, or baguette version, which is just great.
What would monster give you? Like,
look, it's a turkey. Well, let's see. Let's find out.
Yeah, so there's wall chick. That's from Castlevania.
Yeah. So let's go to the diet. What's monster? What
is it going to give you like small children to eat?
There's an eyeball.
Monster parts.
Okay. Let's see what baguette gives us.
Everything's just a baguette.
Just a la baguette. That's so good.
That's probably the one I would do.
Let's see what Fruitarian does. It's a watermelon.
Yay.
I think we're gonna stick with watermelon. Watermelon's delicious, especially on hazy, smoky BC Augusts.
Timberwolf has a comment. Underworld Ascendant announced its release date this morning.
Cool.
We didn't have it in the news, but it's coming out November 15th.
Fantastic.
We spoke with the developers of that game at a pre-E3 event, so if you want to watch that interview, it's on our channel.
Yep, and we will probably talk a little bit about that in the rundown tomorrow.
Cool. Question from Blade Blur. Any reactions regarding the delay of the remastered Spyro trilogy? That's another piece of news that happened, I think, while we were in
this
Montreal.
is new. I haven't been into the toxic sewers. This is new because I've unlocked. I beat the boss once, so I was able to create the vines that go up. Yeah, I think that is absolutely a reaction to the fact that the 3 games weren't included on the disc. They had one game, and then you had to download the other 2. Now I think you're going to be able to get all 3 games on the disc. I think that's going to be one of the features on the back of the box. All 3 games included on the disc.
Put it on the front in big letters.
Yeah.
Or a sticker or something.
Yeah.
Question from Tiago Santos. Vic, what is your favorite game from the Sega Saturn?
Ooh. I think it's Panzer Dragoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was amazing.
It's a good choice.
When I played that game, it was incredible. But I also loved Sega Rally and Virtual Fighter. That was a pretty cool console. Tomb Raider was awesome on the Sega Saturn.
I forgot it was on.
Yeah, it was great on that machine. It was a good machine, but they screwed up the launch. Sound familiar? And they just couldn't compete with the PlayStation juggernaut. Sound familiar? It's crazy how many how cyclical this industry can be.
Yeah, history repeats itself.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't want the shield. These are the collectors. So here's where I spend tactically on upgrades that are going to be permanent. So up here, general upgrades. These are all going to be permanent. So the health flask 3.
And you keep them even if you die?
Yes, exactly. So the gold reserves 3 will let me keep up to 10,000 coins in my bag of gold if I die when I find that bag. So that will help me the first time I encounter a store or whatever. I don't want the shield. I'm like Jose. I don't really give a crap about the shield.
You're anti-shield.
Refreshes the shop's stocks at a very reasonable price. No. Hunter's Grenade. No. And then I can pick up these. I do have blueprints for like the ice bow and stuff like that. I don't want the shield, so I'm going to spend it on my gold reserves. Why not?
Gunfreak84 has a question about the game.
That door does not open unless you spend all of your cells. And Jose was right. I thought it was souls, but it's cells. Okay, what's the question?
Gunfreak84, Vic, what are your thoughts on the music and replayability of this game?
Music's great. It's insanely replayable because every time you load it up, the dungeons are in an entirely different kind of pattern. And once you get past, like I'm leaving the toxic sewers now. I don't even know where I'm going now. I've never been here, so like new areas are constantly being opened up, and the enemies totally sort of gain in power and ability. I've never been in this space before. I've put in easily 10 hours or more already into this game. I've never seen this before.
We should say that because he asked about the music, you're not hearing the music on the stream,
right?
Because we always turn the music off because it always gets flagged for copyrights. violations.
Yeah, but the music's great. This guy's...
So take our word for it. The music is really good.
Yeah, a little slow, but you seem to understand what I'm saying. I lost my rune. So you see, I'm a little stuck, and I need my rune, you see. You wouldn't mind finding it for me. Okay, thumbs up. I just love all the detail that they put into the animations, too. You can tell the iterations and the constant sort of the fetishistic attention to detail here. It reminds me a bit of Flashback back in the day, which also just came out on the Switch. I'll have some thoughts for you on that game. Classic game.
Okay, Jose Sanchez, all caps.
Yeah.
You can break the door that says you must use all your cells.
Oh, you can break it.
So you can break it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you don't have to spend your cells. You just break that door.
Oh, okay. Smart. Okay. I did not know that.
That is a really cool enemy. He's like Scorpion.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're crushing me.
So next time you get to that door, break that door, Vic.
Okay.
I want to see that door get smashed.
Ooh.
This art style is so cool.
It's excellent.
Look at it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, it's not just the art, too. It's the unbelievably cool animations and the fluidity, and like you just...
Yeah, the whole tone of the game
just
looks gorgeous.
Oh, I've lost all my ammo because it's the last one is stuck inside of
I think you lose health when you go in that green stuff.
Oh, was I? Oh,
yeah, I think so.
Okay, I need to power up.
It looked like it was going down. I'm not sure if it's because you were in the green stuff or getting hit. But.
Probably. Okay, and the teleports work really easily, too. They're really cool.
Can you only teleport to another transporter pad, or can you teleport anywhere?
No, you got to go to you open them up as you go, but they really are efficient, and like that's the thing with this game. Like, Metroid becomes super easy to navigate through everything after you've unlocked all your abilities and stuff, but this from the get-go, even though you can't get everywhere, you don't feel ever like you're hemmed in. Like there is this gracefulness of just being able to, and you know that's inherent in the design of the game because they want you to keep playing it over and over again. You know, like playing it over and over again is the game. Like it's not meant to be you beat the boss and it's over.
Gunfreak actually has a follow-up question regarding that. So since it's procedurally generated, is there an ending? There
is, yes. Foobs just talked about it. I have not come anywhere close to it, but there is an ending. That's a good question because I didn't know.
So even with the replayability, it still has a satisfying conclusion.
Yeah.
If that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, and the boss fights feel like progression as well. Oh my God, eggs blowing up. That's like another layer to the alien eggs. Okay, so I'm out of ammo.
Faramer has a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered switching to Twitch to avoid these copyright issues? I think you still have them on Twitch. Maybe not as badly, but...
We are going to start streaming to both. That's one of the upgrades that we're going to be doing in due time, which is kind of news to Blake because
we've discussed it.
But yeah, no, we have to start streaming to both and maybe even to Facebook as well. Cause
we need better equipment than what we have to do multiple.
Yeah. We're slowly but surely adding to our sort of more reasonably modern inventory. Dead shit. Okay. To be able to kind of deal with what we want to do production-wise. It's not just one camera on us. Oh, he brought me to life. I wasn't dead. But to be able to stream in a better quality into many of the services at the same time would be amazing. We're getting there, guys. Piece by piece.
Black-suited Spider-Man. Question: should Capcom make a spin-off Monster Hunter game for the Switch and leave the main games on PS4 and Xbox One?
Well, they are. That's one of the games that I've got in my pipeline is Monster Hunter Generations.
Well, it's not really a spin-off. It's a remake of one of the main games.
It's a 3DS game, yeah. I don't think that would be a bad idea. I think that would be cool.
What does he mean by spin-offs, though?
Well, you could frame it from a totally different perspective. It doesn't have to be in the chronology or the sort of narrative drive.
Isn't that Monster Hunter World though? Isn't it kind of a spin-off?
I think they all sort of inhabit a part of the. I think what was unique about Monster Hunter World were its mechanics and its sort of design. But I think it's part of the Monster Hunter canon. I believe. But maybe what they should do is something completely radical. Okay, tactics increased. I do, you know, when I play a two-dimensional game like this, and that was why I wanted to make that video about the top 10 2D games for the Switch. Like 2D is still very enjoyable, and also when you play great ones, very inspirational. You can't help but think, oh my God, I would love to play an awesome Batman game like this, or an awesome James Bond, or whatever, or reframe God of War or Monster Hunter and use fantastic mechanics like this. Even use sprites and sort of old design ideas, but there's a lot of ways to go, and we've talked about this on the show before. Is that once 3D design started to become such a prominent and prevalent thing in video games, all of these 2D masters kind of either had to hang it up, or the industry itself just sort of moved away from it. But as you can see, still tremendous life in this kind of design, and I love it. Okay, so I've got I'm going to do the twin daggers too. So you spend that, and it upgrades to there. You can choose where you want to pop it down. And I can always go back and pick that up again if I want to. Okay. When those guys jump at you, they take a big chunk of health.
Which guys? The glowy guys?
Yeah. And these guys push you back with their shield, so you have to kind of roll right behind them. I can't open this. I have to go hit the mechanism to let me open it. There we go. Okay. And then pick up jewels and gems and stuff like that as some of these bosses leave stuff behind. There you go.
Johnny McFly, are you guys going to do a Let's Play of Shenmue?
I may stream that separately once I get a code. But we're not going to be doing a Let's Play and chat until we have time for a EP Live again, which I think we're probably a couple of weeks away from that.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit to do.
We got lots going on right now.
Faramer says, I've been playing Monster Hunter World again, and it's been driving me crazy trying to grind out certain weapons that I have not got yet.
It's such a good game, though.
Is there a lot of grinding in it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's every Monster Hunter game.
I mean, some of the battles just take forever with the monsters, but that's part of the game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of grindy games.
Well, they're tough for when you're busy, when real life is calling you, and you got to do a lot of other things. And
it's not even that. It's just that it feels like they make the game artificially long,
right,
by being too grindy.
It's such a tricky balance, though, because if you don't do it, then people are like, "Well, I finished it. It's over.
Yeah,
I want to go bring it back."
I don't know. If a game feels grindy, then it's bad for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would rather have a shorter game experience just be, unforgettable and valuable than an artificially lengthened game just go on forever for the sake of it.
Like, because you can make a game feel satisfying in terms of length and not feel grindy. I mean, that's what every good game does, right?
Yeah. But there is something to be said. I mean, people are probably playing Monster Hunter still, Monster Hunter World still, and they probably put away God of War. They beat the God of War campaign. They found all the extra stuff. God of War is a better game, but people are still finding all the weapons in
right.
Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, I mean, I guess grinding is good if you like the mechanics.
Yep.
Because you're having fun. Grinding implies a negative connotation, though. Like, if it's not fun, it's a grind.
Yep.
If it's fun, you're not grinding. It's just
right. You grind in this game, and you die and restart with nothing a lot.
SamIM111, question: how excited are you for Windjammers 2 being announced for the Switch?
We'll see.
We didn't mention it in the rundown, so probably not.
Yeah, not right now. Not super excited, but we'll see. Maybe I'll love it when it comes out. Another 2D game. Yeah.
Famous. I saw this earlier. Famous Suemus says, "Did you hear that Forza Horizon 2 is going to be dropped from the Xbox online store?
Crazy.
Due to licensing issues.
So probably some of the music or something like that's in there.
Yeah, like and also other games like Alan Wake and Scott Pilgrim versus the World have had
right.
some. And I know GTA San Andreas had a problem with that in the radio.
Right.
Like the buying the game on Steam, you don't have some of the radio stations that you got if you bought like a PS2 version of the game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that sucks. It's one of the downfalls of licensing, famous music and throwing them into these titles. I don't know how much value they add to the core experience.
In GTA, they do. They totally do.
Because
you
there's
listen
a
to
throwback
it
to it.
as you're playing, and they have so many different types of stations
Yes.
that no matter what your taste in music, you can get into the feel of the game.
Yeah, and I guess if we make the parable that video games are a cinematic type of art form, then they should mirror a lot of the things that movies have done forever.
But that's the thing, because movies, I know when they have a licensed song in a movie, they get
The perpetual?
yeah, they get the rights to use it in perpetuity, even when the rights change to different rights holders.
I think they probably do with games, but then games get re-released. And every time it gets re-released, it probably changes the structure of the deal somewhat.
Right, yeah, like every remastered version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Right, yeah.
and also, the movie studios are the music studios, right? So
Yeah.
it's probably a little bit easier for them to walk down a hall and say, yeah, I'm going to use your music in my movie, okay?
Yeah, right. Sony
yeah.
Pictures and Sony Music are the same building probably.
Yeah. And they go, yeah, okay, yeah, it's all good. Just make the check payable to this, and it's this company paying itself, you know? Which sometimes screws the artist, you know, because there are so many, we see that happening with TV deals. Get up there. With TV deals where, like a production entity that's owned by a network gets a better deal with the network carrier than if they were shopping it. You know, and then some of the agents and some of the people involved go, well, you know, why didn't you take this up to the free market, you know?
Yeah, that's the AMC people are suing.
Oh, come on, get out, I gotta heal up, thank you. I'm already dying. You can't die, I don't know how Foobs can stream this thing, man, because
Foobs is really good at video.
He is very good at video games. Tis true.
What was Tyler for that?
Okay.
Are you gonna play the new Game Plus mode in God of War?
I know that I don't want I think Foob says to go for these things, but I did it once as a cursed treasure chest.
What is he saying? Hit me, I've been very naughty.
But then it curses me, and I felt like I died right away.
But are you getting stuff from it?
You do, but then I felt like I'm not doing it. I don't know what I'm doing yet, so I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to live for as long as possible. That's my goal. Okay, shield, don't want it. Don't want it. Wait. What is this? Ice Grenade 2. No, we're good. What's the DPS? Nope, don't want it. Okay. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm not getting to because I'm just sort of running through this thing. There we go. And these things put little force fields on them. Ooh, look at that. Look at how much damage that son of a bitch.
Body desecrated. You lost 5 cells.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions?
There's one from Tyler Fisher, but I can't find it.
Okay. Anything from the beginning of the show?
I told people to re-ask their questions.
Okay.
I feel like scrolling through.
Okay, so this is from the beginning. Dead Man's Bag. I've got 5,800 coins in there. That's pretty good starting gold. I'm not a big fan of these firebrands.
What does it do?
Well, I guess I have to use them until they basically put some fire down, but it's not as I still like just the regular arrow better. You know, the bow and arrow is better. Like, this takes a long time to kill these guys, I feel like. It does eventually kill them.
Those little blue orbs you're getting, those are like...
Those are my cells. Yeah.
That's like, looks like the things from Crackdown.
Kind of. What's in here? Nothing. Okay. Lots of little cool details, right? You see all these particle bits in here, like you can see like it's dust.
Smokiness.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay, Tyler Fisher's question. Was it Tommy's idea to get more and more zany in classic EPs? At the start, he was very chill by comparison. So was that his own decision, or was it you giving him direction?
No, it was there was a director that I worked with, Scott Barrett, in the first season, and Tommy and I sort of coming up with different crazy ideas and getting more comfortable with the production of them, and then also taking them back and working with Aaron, who was the senior supervisor, Aaron Mooney, who was the senior supervising post supervisor, and Tavis Dunn, who was the art director, because we would conceive of these things with effects, and we would take them back and not know for sure that we'd be able to pull them off. And as we did, it just became more fun to imagine things and just take some risks and stuff. But that was a great question, Tyler. It was definitely not a okay, we got this all mapped up. We knew we wanted to have fun. We knew we wanted to. I mean, we were having fun, and we wanted to show that. We wanted to express that in the content. But we certainly didn't have. The one thing that I did do in the first season, because it was all brand new, and I would encourage this to anybody that ever creates a show, because when you create a show, you got to go and tell your people that you're collaborating with, how to make the show, and it's pretty hard to do that when it's just an idea. So what I did is I actually wrote 13 episodes worth of scripts with every interview, everybody, every single person that would be in the show. So it ended up being this huge script, but I wanted to have an idea of what the whole show was going to look like. And that was very helpful. It wasn't like we stuck to exactly everything there, but I was able to show it to people and say, well, this is what I'm envisioning Electric Playground is going to be. And certainly the sense of humor and that sense of like going out on the street and asking crazy questions and getting people's feedback and people having a sense of fun around this was paramount. And then when we got out with the developers, we kind of pushed that a little bit to make sure that they were in on it. And one of the things that I always told people right from the beginning that made games is like, look, if you don't like this show, if you think that this is just cheesy or somewhat insulting to what you're crafting, then we failed. And that's exactly what I don't want to do. I want you guys to have fun, and I want you to feel like we're honoring the hard work that you're putting into this stuff, because we love your games, and that's what we're trying to put together. And so that's what we endeavored to do, and we were emboldened by some of these crazy ideas working, and some of these developers saying, sure, we'll try that. We'll pretend that we're getting attacked by a Star Destroyer. You know, meeting Doug TenNapel and certainly Tommy's friends down in Southern California was also really eye-opening as well. His best friend is David Perry, and he worked with Doug TenNapel on Earthworm Jim. When they were all at Shiny. And Doug was super funny and crazy and very imaginative and very elaborate with the segment that we put into episode 2 of EP. That was the first thing that I ever edited, by the way. And when you saw that, it was like, well, I guess we could just try all kinds of stuff. I think people are game for this, and then we just kept learning and trying different things. Dead. That's tough when you go into the toxic sewers. But, you know, Chris Taylor was, I think, a very important interview. He was in our first episode of EP talking about Total Annihilation, and he's so funny. He could have been a stand-up comic, and he just riffed and went on, you know, off topic and was so animated in our interview. It was like, wow, I can see this now. I can really understand where we can go with all this stuff. And then Scott was the senior editor, and he was throwing in all kinds of wacky ideas to you know, add little visual flourishes. We used to have to stack video pieces like crazy, so sometimes we'd have these towers of video pieces that we'd have to render out in our Avids, and that got super fun. And you know, the idea for Reviews on the Run came from driving past a drive-in theater in the Bay Area, and I saw that drive-in theater, and I said, what if we did reviews in locations like that, where it was different every week, and we called it Reviews on the Run, and we projected the game image on the screen. We pretended to, like we put it up as a layer, and from that we just kept getting zanier and zanier with the kinds of backgrounds that we would have, and we did endeavor to shoot in all kinds of crazy locations. Good question.
Famous Samus, do you think it's sad that Dead Cells is forever going to be associated with that IGN controversy?
I don't think it's sad, because I think the core thing that came out of that is that the game is excellent, and you know, it was iterated in the original article that was ripped off in the original video, and it was reinforced by that. And then I think what happened is that probably a lot more people read a lot more Dead Cells reviews and watched a lot more Dead Cells videos, and they heard again and again that this game is not to be missed, you know? So I think it's sad that it happened. It's pathetic that it did. I think people need to have a lot more integrity. This is hard work to kind of stay up on top of it and to be fresh and all that, but you need to kind of have some kind of, you know, moral center and some kind of respect for yourself, you know. But there's so many sources, there's so many people, there's so many individual, and some of it's so well made that I think the good that will come out of this is that people will have a lot more control, self-control, you know, and this kind of thing won't keep happening. But it sucks. I mean, it sucked for IGN because I know that, like, they've invested millions of dollars over the years to try to get good reporting out there and good reviewers and stuff. And they're
Obviously
a media entity.
Enough.
Well, they're a media entity, and they're struggling with their own issues and, you know, having to foot the bill for all the people that they employ. You know, they've obviously got to now make that a big part of their scrutiny with everything that comes in. I think it's an important, like, the good that comes out of this is that important discussion that we can't let this be happening, you know, and creative work that people put out there needs to be respected and not ripped off. You know, I hate it when people take our videos and stick them up on their YouTube channel. I can't stand that. It's like, come on, you lazy son of a bitch. Why would you do that? You know, like, we're trying to just find some ways to get people to pay attention to us and watch our material. We're working really hard to build stuff, and you're just going to rip it off and not, you know, ask and not accredit us, and it's unbelievable. So I totally got the YouTubers' frustration on that, and I totally felt for IGN being caught in the middle of that. And you know, I don't know, I don't know what that guy's name is, but I hope he never works in this business again. You know, especially because there were so many. Like, he didn't do it once; he did it over and over again. So, F that guy.
So is your health going down inside that purple stuff?
I don't think so. I think this is just water here.
I'm pretty sure the green stuff is dropping your health.
Yeah, the toxic sewer.
Yeah, because it's toxic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so rusty sword, balanced blade. Pick that up. Okay, so this is my last run, I think. So ask away. Any questions? Any comments? I will definitely endeavor to do some streams when I can, just from my home PlayStation or something like that, or, you know, my console. So stay tuned for that, but it's going to be a little bit of time before we are able to do another Let's Play and chat like this.
Jose says, woo, I just beat the game for the second time.
Dude, that's awesome. I have yet to show everybody the first boss fight.
Well, you went and did a lot of backtracking and stuff in other parts, right?
Yeah.
Like you went through the toxic sewer.
Yeah, I never found that before. So that's cool. So that just tells me that there are millions of other ways through this game. Uh-oh.
I have a question from Gunfreak84,
Yeah.
who did not watch the whole episode today.
Yeah.
Hey, Vic, do you still do the buried treasure segments?
Yes, we do. I
We did one right before this.
How many do you think we've done this year already?
Well, we've had one every EP Live, at least.
Yeah.
So probably a couple hundred at least, I would imagine.
Have we done 200 EP Lives
If I had to
this year?
guess, I would say maybe 150.
We've done a lot already, yes.
It's definitely more than 100. So yes, we do still do it.
Today's buried treasure was really rad. When
And
I thought
really
of
orange.
it, yes, it was very orange. I shot it. It was very orange.
Because it's orange in BC today.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy to put that in there because I don't think anybody was expecting that.
Yes, Zneil Monahawk Hanks X. Yes, the maps are randomly generated. Fairmer wants to know if he can add you on his PS4.
Of course, I'm Batwing on PS4, Xbox, the Switch, and I think on Steam too.
I have a question from Happy Console Gamer.
Oh, how you doing, Johnny? I miss you, buddy. Oh, look at this. I found a secret area.
Look at that.
Uh-oh. Toxic. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, see, it is definitely me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm dead. Help. Help me.
Hurry, before you die, Happy Console Gamer wants to know,
I'm dead.
I drank too much EPN coffee. What should I do? I haven't slept in 5 days.
Good job, buddy. That's fantastic. The only cure for drinking too much EPN coffee is to have another cup of coffie in an EPN mug.
And buy more of it.
Yes.
That's the important thing. You have to buy more of it.
Oh, my God.
Are we done?
That's it, yes.
Okay.
Not a particularly good sort of playthrough, but you got a taste of what Dead Cells is all about, and goddamn does it deserve your dough. This is an incredible game, and thank you all for joining us today. Had a lot of fun. Thank you, Jose, for being our guest today. He is currently streaming Dead Cells on his Twitch channel. He's on there almost every day with something, and he's a hilarious streamer, and he's always got some great insight on this stuff, and he is a much better player than I am, so definitely check him out. Abby Jameson, thank you so much for that nice comment and for your support. Wesley West, good to see you. Sam I Am, Danny Sullivan, Tyler Fisher, Happy Console Gamer. We'll get you another bag of that EPN coffee, buddy. Famous Seamus, Bear Dog Pictures, great to see you. Adrian Leon, I would like to see you and Tommy review Marvel's Spider-Man for the PS4 together. I will see if we can make that happen. I think what we have to do at least is maybe something that I just did with Foobs here talking about Dead Cells. I know he's going to be anxious to play that game. I think we need to at least connect to talk about the latest iteration on Spider-Man. That's a very good idea, Adrian Leon. Miss Hojat, great to see you. It's great to see everybody today. Thank you so much for joining us live. We'll be back with an EP Live before you know it, but definitely stay tuned for brand new rundowns and reviews and interviews and stuff that we're going to be posting. Thank you for supporting our channel. Remember, we've got tons of content on EPN, so dig around, and if you dig what you see, hit subscribe, that little bell if you're so inclined. We've got that sponsor/member button, and don't forget, play forever.